Today we're going to look at how to multiply and divide decimals by powers of 10. Now a power of 10 is when 10 is multiplied by itself a certain number of times. So 10 to the power of 1 is just one lot of 10. 10 to the power of 2, or 10 squared, means 10 times 10, or 100. 10 to the power of 3 means 10 times 10 times 10, which makes 1,000. 10 to the power of 4 makes 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, which makes 10,000, and so on. Now that number, to the power of 1, power of 2, power of 3, and power of 4, that is sometimes also called index notation. And you can see that the index notation number, is the same as the number of zeros at the end of the number in the answer. So 10 squared, 10 to the power of 2, makes 100. 100 has 2 zeros after the 1. 10 to the power of 3 is 1,000. It has 3 zeros at the end of the 1. And 10 to the power of 4 is a 1 with 4 zeros. 10,000. 10 to the power of 10 would be a 1 with 10 zeros at the end. Now we're going to have a look at how to multiply by powers of 10. We're going to start by multiplying 2.56 by 10 to the power of 1, which we've just figured out is actually just 10. All we need to do is move that decimal point the number of places that it says in the index notation. So we're going to move the decimal point one place, because it's 10 to the power of 1 place to the right. So instead of 2.56, the answer is 25.6. If we multiply 2.56 by 10 squared, or 10 to the power of 2, we need to move the decimal point 2 places to the right, which means we actually get rid of the decimal point. So 2.56 times 10 to the power of 2 is 256. 2.56 times 10 to the power of 3, we need to move the decimal place 3 places to the right. So we don't actually have a decimal point, so we have to add a 0 onto the end. 2.56 times 10 to the power of 3 equals 2,560. Now what happens when we divide by powers of 10? It's actually just the opposite. Instead of moving the decimal point to the right, we move the decimal point to the left. So if we have 2,560 and divide it by 10 to the power of 1, the answer is 256. We drop the 0. If we divide 2,560 by 10 squared, or 10 to the power of 2, we move that decimal point 2 places to the left. The answer is 25.6. If we divide it by 10 to the power of 3, we move it 1 further place to the left and get 2.56. And finally, if we divide it by 10 to the power of 4, 2,560 divided by 10 to the power of 4 equals 0.256. We have to put a 0 point in front of it. Now we'll have a go at 2 questions to practice these skills that we've just learnt. The first one we'll have a go at is 3.5 times 10 to the power of 2. Press pause on the video until you've worked out what you think the answer should be. The answer is 350. I hope you got it right. We've moved the decimal point 2 spots. So 3.5 times 10 to the power of 1 would be 35. And then 10 to the power of 2, we need to add a 0 to make it 350. The second question we'll practice on is division problem. 425 divided by 10 to the power of 3. Press pause while you work it out. The answer is 0.425. We had to move our decimal point 3 spots to the left when we're dividing. So 425 becomes 0.425. 3 numbers after the decimal point. I hope this video has helped you to understand a bit more about index notation and how to multiply and divide by powers of 10. You can practice these skills on Essential Assessment. Good luck.